we just moments ago received a statement from Matt
Lauer's apology tour.
This morning, the Disgrace Today show host is being accused of alleged sexual assault and 2 new complaints against him. We have the details.
Plus, comments Matt made to his former co-hosts Meredith Vieira and a story from Katie Couric now under new scrutiny.
And insiders tell People everyone knew Matt Lauer cheated on his wife, but were shocked by misconduct allegations.
Fellow newsman Geraldo Rivera in hot water over his defense of Lauer. We'll tell you what Bette Midler said in a now resurfaced video.
And it's something that we've always known, but I think we're seeing it now in a way that we haven't seen.
Country star and women's advocate Jennifer Nettles weighs in on the widespread stories of sexual assault and harassment making news.
And the engagement. It may have just happened, but guys, it is never too early for a commemorative mug. That and more on Harry and Meghan, all today on People Now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to People Now. There is a lot going on following Matt Lauer's sudden termination from NBC. Use hashtag PeopleNow to join our conversation today. We'd love to hear from you. And here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Watch this.
Our top story is once again about our former colleague, Matt Lauer.
And in fact, we just moments ago received a statement from Matt, and let me read it to you. There are no words to express my sorrow and regret for the pain I have caused others by words and actions. To the people I have hurt, I am truly sorry. As I am writing this, I realize the depth of the damage and disappointment I have left behind at home and at NBC. Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. I regret that my shame is now shared by the people I cherish dearly. Repairing the damage will take a lot of time and soul searching, and I'm committed to beginning that effort. It is now my full-time job. The last 2 days have forced me to take a very hard look at my own troubling flaws. It's been humbling. I am blessed to be surrounded by people I love. I thank them for their patience and grace.
The Today Show kicked off its 7 a.m. hour this morning with Matt Lauer's first statement since his termination yesterday, in which he expressed feelings of regret and embarrassment and admitted that repairing the damage he has caused is now his full-time job. This comes after People has confirmed 2 new sexual harassment allegations have been made to NBC against Lauer. A former NBC employee who spoke to the New York Times on condition of anonymity said that Lauer sexually assaulted her in 2001. According to the publication, Lauer had been making, quote, inappropriate comments to her after she started working at NBC in the late 1990s. The story is somewhat explicit. The woman telling the Times that Lauer asked her into his office in 2001, that he locked the door by pressing a button from his desk. Lauer allegedly then asked her to unbutton her shirt, which she did. She claims he then pulled down her pants, bent her over a chair, and proceeded to have intercourse with her. The unidentified woman claims that she blacked out with her pants halfway down and that she woke up on the floor to Lauer asking his assistant to take her to a nurse. That's according to the Times. She told the publication she didn't report the incident due to feeling as though that she might lose her job, but did leave NBC a year later. The woman's ex-husband and a friend corroborated her statement. The nature of the second complaint has not yet been revealed, and in a separate report published Wednesday afternoon by Variety, 3 anonymous women accused the former newsman of sexual harassment, claiming Lauer had once brought a female employee into this office and, quote, dropped his pants, showing her his penis. Lauer then allegedly reprimanded her for not engaging in a sexual act. According to Variety, Lauer also allegedly once gave a female colleague a sex toy as a present. Several insiders are also alleging to People that the veteran morning host's infidelity to his wife of 19 years, Annette Roque, was no secret, but that allegations of sexual assault were unexpected. One source claiming, quote, everyone knew his wife lives in the Hamptons and he lives in the city, but we never heard he made unwanted moves. A former Today staffer echoes the first source's claims, telling People, quote, everyone on staff knew he cheated regularly on his wife. That wasn't a secret, but sexual misconduct is a shock. That source goes on to add, quote, he was friendly and approachable with everyone and was very well liked. Additionally, a third source tells People that there was most definitely more than one affair and alleges that, quote, they were never with anyone whom Lauer didn't have significant seniority over. Still, the same source emphasizing, quote, he wasn't a lech and he wasn't known as someone who would corner you or retaliate against you if you spurned him or someone who would lure you into his dressing room, unquote. In the wake of the allegations, many people are now pointing to past past lewd comments made by Lauer. One video from October 2006 shows Matt Lauer making a lewd comment to his then Today Show co-host Meredith Vieira. The Today Show had gone to commercial break, but a local affiliate remained on NBC's in-studio feed and recorded Lauer complimenting Vieira on her sweater, then telling her, quote, "Keep bending over like that, it's a nice view." Vieira became Lauer's Today Show co-anchor in 2006 and hosted the show with him until June 2011. People are also talking about this clip from Today Show co-host Katie Couric's 2012 interview with Watch What Happens Live's Andy Cohen.
You co-hosted the Today Show with Matt Lauer for 15 years. What is Matt's most annoying habit?
He pinches me on the ass a lot.
There you go. As Cohen noted, Couric spent 15 years co-hosting NBC's Today Show with Lauer and left in May 2006 to anchor the CBS Evening News at the time. Now, when she announced her departure on Today in April 2006, she turned to Lauer and said, quote, "As Dorothy said to the Scarecrow, I think I'm going to miss him most of all." And in 2011, Couric opened up to People about her close friendship with Lauer, saying, quote, Matt and I have undeniable chemistry in the most platonic sense of the word. We're like an old married couple. We finish each other's sentences." Obviously, the relationship was good there, but one past clip, much more recent. Check out this heated September 2017 interview between Lauer and Bill O'Reilly, who was terminated from his Fox News job back in April due to sexual harassment claims as well.
You were probably the last guy in the world that they wanted to fire because you were the guy that the ratings and the revenues were built on. You carried that network on your shoulders for a lot of years. So doesn't it seem safe to assume that the people at Fox News were given a piece of information or given some evidence that simply made it impossible for you to stay on at Fox News?
That's a false assumption. There were a lot of other business things in play at that time and still today that 21st Century was involved with. And it was a business decision that they made. But there isn't any
But you don't let your number one guy go unless you have information that you think makes him...
That's not true.
Wow, and just 2 months later, it could be said that Lauer is in much the same situation. Joined here with Lola this morning. It's so interesting now in hindsight with these accusations about Matt Lauer to look at that interview and to look at those words. It's a whole new light, isn't it?
And it's so interesting because you're right, Jeremy. The exact same thing could be said about Matt Lauer. He was the star of that network. The Today Show was on his shoulders. They were paying him $20 million a year, and Today Show is the biggest franchise at that network. It generates more than $500 million in ad revenue a year. So you don't let go of Matt Lauer.
Yeah, well, you look at it in the same way. Yeah, the number one guy, like, you know, for a woman to make a claim against the guy, it's a big deal, and it means a lot that they were that they moved in the direction of letting him go. Look, obviously, this becomes a political thing, right? I mean, news organizations, especially when it comes to Fox News versus NBC or whatever, it's the right versus the left and all these things. So it's opened up this whole other world of political conversation, political commentary, especially online, as we look to Twitter. And guys, we want you to weigh in. #PeopleNow. We'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts are in light of all these things. And guys, we'll move on here. In light of all these recent allegations, from Matt Lauer to Harvey Weinstein, celebrities have had lots to say. Country star Jennifer Nettles offered up her thoughts on the pervasive nature of sexual assault and harassment and why this is all coming to a head right now.
All you need is a catalyst for something like this, in the sense that there were a couple of women who were brave enough to really stand up and make their story known. There's so much victim shaming there, and there's so much fear that happens, and for a myriad of reasons, women don't come out and speak their truth because many times they aren't believed, and that then adds the insult to the injury of the pain of what you've already experienced. I think the fact that women started to be believed, they all started to feel empowered. As a community, we started to feel empowered to support each other and say, yes, come out and tell your stories and speak your truths, because if we don't bring this darkness to the light, it will continue. But the more light we shine on it, the more people will be able to see, oh, this is really pervasive throughout our culture. And it's something that we've always known, but I think we're seeing it now in a way that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. You've come up through the ranks, obviously, in the entertainment industry. Is it surprising to you how pervasive this is?
It's not surprising to me because it doesn't surprise me in general in society. Look, the entertainment industry is just a microcosm of the bigger macro. You know, we're not any different. There's sexual harassment and sexual violations and rape that goes on across the board, regardless of the industry or how it and where it happens in life. So it just so happens that this particular business is very visible when you're in the entertainment industry. It's very visible. So people see you and know who you are, and that allows them a connection in a way, I think, that gets their attention in a different way.
Yeah. Jennifer Nettles has been a really powerful voice for women. She's happy to speak out about this, and she's leading certain parts of the conversation for sure. And guys, we want to know what you're talking about. Let's see what you had to say in the wake of the Matt Lauer news. We have some of your tweets to read. Check it out here. Let's see, Geraldo Rivera saying, sad about Matt Lauer, great guy, highly skilled and empathetic with guests, a real gentleman to my family and me. That was something that we're going to be talking about a little later. He got a lot of heat for that, has since apologized and other things. We'll break down that story in just a bit about Geraldo.
But Iram at Twitter said, thank you for apologizing. More truths will be said, maybe even untruths or exaggerations. Just accept that only you put yourself in this situation and continue to apologize. It's easier to forgive when there are no justifications.
That makes a lot of sense. Patty saying, I'm disappointed in Matt Lauer, but I accept his apology. Pray that he heals so we can see him back doing what he does best on television. It is always the interesting thing. Is there a chance that any of these people come back? At the moment, it definitely seems unlikely. So we'll see how all this plays out. Thank you guys for commenting. Be sure to weigh in with #PeopleNow. Keep the comments. Oh, we have more. We have even more tweets.
Oh,
my gosh.
Okay, so Jara Hutchins said, this is just old. Same apologies for the same kinds of behavior. It's moot. The best apology is change behavior. When will we see that?
Well, we hope to see it coming up.
You know, a lot of people have been on apology tours lately, so, yep.
So Yuri says, Matt Lauer apologizes, claims some stories are untrue. He doesn't get it. If one event is true, he has attacked in a totally unethical manner. So sick of folks breaking rules and crying like babies to be forgiven.
Ooh.
People very passionate about it for obvious reasons. And look, we understand why. We feel the same way.
And they're not giving Matt a pass at all.
No, right, and it continues and continues.
Yeah.
Keep sharing your thoughts using that #PeopleNow. We'll check back in with you again soon. But first, more trending news from you, Lola.
That's right. A 1991 interview with Bette Midler is now blowing up the internet. Watch this.
Geraldo and his producer came to do an interview with me in the 70s, the early 70s. And this was when he was very sort of hot. And he and his producer left the crew in the other room. They pushed me into my bathroom. They broke 2 poppers and pushed them under my nose and proceeded to grope me. And I didn't have any idea. Grope me. I did not offer myself up on the altar of Geraldo Rivera. He was unseemly. His behavior was unseemly.
Geraldo Rivera, who strongly defended Matt Lauer's sexual assault allegations, is now finding himself in the midst of his own drama. And while Midler's allegations would be taken very seriously today, they didn't really make news back then. Rivera even addressed the encounter in his 1991 memoir titled, get this, Exposing Myself. He had this to say about the alleged assault, writing, quote, we were in the bathroom preparing for the interview, and at some point I put my hands on her breasts. Whew. The news reporter defended 59-year-old Lauer just hours after his firing, but has since apologized for his controversial comments, writing late last night, reaction to my tweets on sex harassment makes clear I didn't sufficiently explain that this is a horrendous problem. Long-hidden harassers are deviants who deserve what is coming to them. Often victims are too frightened to come forward in a timely fashion. I humbly apologize. Rivera, who's a regular contributor to Fox, called the news industry a, quote, flirty business, writing on Twitter, sad about Matt Lauer, great guy, highly skilled and empathetic with guests, and a real gentleman to my family and me. News is a flirty business, and it seems like the current epidemic of sex harassment allegations may be criminalizing courtship and conflating it with predation. Whew. Rivera went on to say how sexual harassment should not be used to, quote, get even with bad bosses or hated exes, writing, sex harassment should be confined to situations where superior imposes himself on subordinate who feels unable to complain because of power. And the contentious tweets did not stop there. Rivera later stated how an all-female news panel would be, quote, unacceptably retro, and that sexual harassment allegations should be reported within 5 years, as well as requiring witnesses' evidence and proof since, quote, with settlements in the multi-millions, some victims are motivated by more than justice. Fox News later issued a statement claiming, quote, Geraldo's tweets do not reflect the views of Fox News or its management. We are troubled by his comments and are addressing them with him. Now, on Wednesday, when word came that NBC News had fired Today's Show anchor Matt Lauer, President Trump tweeted in response saying, wow, Matt Lauer was just fired from NBC for inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace. But when will the top executives at NBC and Comcast be fired for putting out so much fake news? Check out Andy Lack's past. Many people were upset by the president's comments due to the several sexual assault allegations against him. One person is Mira Sorvino. The actress responded to a tweet from another user that said, I know one former NBC star who needs to be investigated for sexual assault. He was on a show called The Apprentice. Sorvino's response said, quote, you're going down at real Donald Trump. You already admitted in 2016 that the tape was real. You've admitted to sexual assault, and you have almost 20 women with claims to back you up. Time to start packing. You're not immune, and the cultural tide against sexual predators will sweep you away. She responded to another tweet claiming that Trump is immune to the sexual misconduct allegations against him. Sorvino stated, no one is immune. Nixon proved that. Now, last month, Sorvino joined the dozens of women who've accused Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment and assault. The actress alleged in a New Yorker expose that Weinstein sexually harassed her at the Toronto Film Festival in 1995. And Sorvino wasn't the only one who wasn't pleased with the president's seemingly hypocritical tweet. People writer Natasha Stoyanov, who accused Trump of attacking her in 2005, tells People in an email, it doesn't surprise me at all that Mr. Trump would criticize someone else's inappropriate sexual behavior and not address his own. From what I understand, people who are delusional and narcissistic lack self-awareness and have a need to lash out. Another Trump accuser, Melinda McGilvey, added, quote, Donald is a complete hypocrite. He has the audacity to talk smack about other people when he's the culprit himself. Jeremy,
there's a lot there.
There's a lot.
A lot of layers to the reaction, and I think we're taking a look at some more tweets.
And people are reacting. Let's take a look at some more tweets.
All right, Paul D. Flanagan says, I'm not necessarily a fan of Geraldo, but his underlying point is that everyone deserves due process. Let the facts and the preponderance of evidence lead to where they go. Geraldo apologizes, he goes on there, and then here's another one.
And then Miss Here For It says, first men are surprised by all the Me Too shares. Now women are surprised that the men they know are predators. If there are all these assaults, then there has to also be predators. It's your brother, father, friend, co-worker. Hashtag today, Matt Lauer.
Yeah, there are obviously two things there. Due process is necessary.
Right.
And I guess the danger in this kind of wave is that people all pile on. You have to, the corporations and people involved need to have some sort of internal due process that you know, makes these things, gives some sort of protocol, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you see this as people we didn't expect. The feed is full here on Periscope of people saying, man, I grew up on Matt Lauer. I loved him. I would have never thought this. I felt the same way.
I know.
So the face of it is not necessarily the obvious sort of creepy whatever.
Yeah.
It exists in places we don't imagine.
And as she said in her tweet, you know, it's your brother, it's your father, it's your uncle. Yeah.
Let's keep looking here.
All right. June Bug and Jew B wrote, at Savannah Guthrie, thank you for breaking the Matt Lauer story with humanity, poise, and class. So
can I just say this? I think her tone was significantly different today.
Yes.
There's a little more fire there. You could feel it. I know that Matt Lauer, this one from Kaza, I know that Matt Lauer is a big news story right now, but is it necessary to make his colleagues at Today report on it? I think this is a situation where they should let other news outlets do the reporting. It's too close to home at NBC. I disagree. They're first and foremost, they're journalists. Right. It's a huge story that falls into a line of stories and narratives that have been going on for months and months, not years.
And if they didn't report on it, they would look like they were trying to save face or in some way trying to bury the story. They're journalists. They have to do their jobs. Unfortunately, the story is in their backyard today.
Yeah. There you go, and it's going to be in someone else's very soon as they continue to roll out. We can predict that that's probably going to happen. All right, guys, stay with us. Country star Jennifer Nettles opening up about being a hip hop fan. Yes, and if she's Team Kendrick Lamar or Team Jay-Z. Plus, Hamilton actor Leslie Odom Jr. reveals what traditions he's going to be starting ahead of his daughter Lucy's first Christmas. Stick around for that. But first,
Spot of tea, anyone? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle only announced their engagement on Monday, and there's already memorabilia of the joyous occasion. Prestigious pottery firm Emma Bridgewater made sure they were first to the punch. They started making these beautiful commemorative mugs just minutes after the big announcement. The mug features the company's signature spongeware, writing on it, proclaiming the engagement along with the couple's special date in a powder blue font. The half-pint size mugs also have a gorgeous decorative trim with alternating hearts and dots. They will be available for pre-order starting December 8th for about £20, which is roughly $27. Not bad for your own little piece of history.
Yeah, well, very excited. Delighted for them both, and wishing them all the happiness in this very exciting time. And for me personally, I hope it means he stays out of my fridge.
That's right, get your own fridge. I hear that. Prince William proves he still knows how to kid around with his not-so-little brother, Prince Harry, during a brief trip to Helsinki, Finland on Wednesday. The Duke visited the country to speak to a charity, but took an opportunity to put his brother on notice now that he's about to be a married man. Prince William also had some kind words to say. He commented that brother and fiancée Meghan Markle have a lot of happy times ahead of them and that he wishes them all the happiness and success in planning the wedding. Now that's brotherly love. I like that. I like that.
Well, Jennifer Nettles has one of country music's biggest voices, so it's really no surprise the blonde beauty has not one, not two, but 3 shiny Grammys under her belt. Jennifer, who is also a huge hip-hop fan, weighed in on this year's epic battle, Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar, leading the pack with the most nominations. So we had to ask, Team Kendrick or Team Jay-Z?
Ooh, that's hard now because Jay-Z's so classic.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I love the way rap continues to evolve. I do miss, you know, when you think about your heyday, like in the early 2000s,
Whatever,
that was
when
sort
you
of
were
my
growing
heyday.
up and that was your thing. Yeah, right.
So I think about rap from that time and I miss it. Although I miss rap even way back to, like, you know, Beastie Boys. So
Oh, way back.
yeah, so even way back. But I would have to say, I mean, it's too hard to compare. But I did really like that Kendrick Lamar record.
There you go. Jennifer Nettles on rap. And you hear that, Kendrick? It looks like you have at least 1 vote. Oh, you have many more. And since Jennifer is a seasoned pro after all, she must keep those Grammys in a very special place, right?
They are on top of my piano.
People ask that, do people ask that all the time?
Not all the time, but sometimes. Or they'll ask about awards in general because they're in different places. You know, the Grammys are on my piano.
Okay.
There are other things that happen to be in guest bathrooms or at my mom's that my mom gets excited about. But yeah, the Grammys are on the piano.
I wonder which ones her mom gets excited about. And I like that, front and center, though, for those Grammys. And besides her extra busy career, Jennifer is also a mama to soon-to-be 5-year-old Magnus. Fair warning, he is pretty adorable.
So his birthday is coming up on the 6th.
Yes, right.
Yes, he'll be 5. And today he just wrote his name by himself for the first time, and I am so proud.
Magnus!
Yes, I am so proud. Killing it at life.
Is he touring it with you now?
He won't be with me on this tour.
Okay.
No. I've been able to work out this specific tour where he's been able to be stationary because now he used to go with me everywhere.
Right.
But now as he's older, his needs are changing. So I have to change my life around
That makes sense. He's obviously very adorable. Celebrating that birthday, any big plans for
parties.
his 5th birthday?
Parties and lots of superhero things. That's
right.
his thing, is the superhero.
Are you the
And the villains.
And the villains.
Yeah.
Gotta have them all.
Yeah, because for Halloween, we were Batman. He was Joker. Justin was Batman, yeah, and I was Harley Quinn.
Oh, the whole...
Per request. He
narrated this thing.
Curated the whole thing, yes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, Magnus. I respect you even more now. Of course, we're all dying to know how Jennifer pulls it all off, but the singer says she's a big fan of winging it.
There is no balance. I look at it more like a dance, and I just try to step in on cue and step out with as much grace as possible with all the pieces. Sometimes I call it juggling boulders.
Oh, that's a really good analogy, right? Like lugging them around, right?
Yeah, I mean, crazy. But yeah, it's busy, but it's also beautiful.
Ooh, there it is, little key change, that did it. I am officially in the Christmas spirit. That is Hamilton star Leslie Odom Jr. singing First Noel. It's on the deluxe edition of his acclaimed holiday album, Simply Christmas. And he's got a lot to be excited about this holiday season, guys. It's his daughter Lucy's first Christmas. Now, Leslie might not be sure yet which traditions they're going to create with Lucy, but he does know what they're not going to do.
I say it now. I'm not going to get her pajamas every single year. There was nothing. What was worse than opening a pair of pajamas when you were a kid? Like, you know, now as an adult, I got my first pair of pajamas as an adult. I mean, I haven't had a pair of pajamas in years.
Yeah, it's like, yes.
And the Murder on the Orient Express. That was our gift when the movie opened, was a pair of luxury pajamas from the producers, and I've been wearing it. It feels like, you know, like a sleep suit.
This is just like what you can be found in at all times at home now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so, you know, you just feel so like luxurious.
Yeah, right. It's true. Nothing beats a good pair of comfy PJs, the adult onesie. I'm all about that. But Leslie wasn't getting much sleep at all while actually filming Murder on the Orient Express. And it sounds like party animal Penelope Cruz, well, she was to blame.
Thanks to Penelope, really, one of the biggest movie stars we had on the set. She came, her first day. I'm not going to do Penelope. Josh does Penelope. I won't do it.
I'll bet you.
But she was, I want to get together. When are we going to? She's like, she was the one that made sure that we sort of developed as a family, that we would keep this thing close and get to know each other. So every single Friday night we were together, and we would always think, we'll just be together for a couple hours. Well into the next morning, we were still partying.
Love him, and you can hear more from Leslie Odom Jr.'s Simply Christmas Deluxe Edition by picking up a copy today.
4 West Virginia moms have banded together and are determined to put an end to the heroin epidemic in their town for good. The Hope Dealer Project is a nonprofit that hopes to bring strength and healing to people struggling with drug addiction and their family members. 2 of those moms join me today. Lisa and Tina, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Lisa, you've experienced firsthand what it feels like to lose a loved one. Your daughter died from a fatal overdose in May. My deepest condolences to you and your family. How has this passion project helped you personally heal?
I lost my daughter this past May. I also lost my son-in-law in 2015. Christina wanted to help us with the Hope Dealer Project. I think it has helped in the sense that we're able to share both of their stories to help others that are in need of recovery.
Now, Tina, you ladies have worked extremely hard to put an end to the opioid crisis happening in your very own town, Martinsburg, West Virginia. What sorts of events do you host to spread awareness about the heroin epidemic?
Well, we actually have 2 events that we're starting now. One is the paint night. We did very successful there. That is our crew that came out and painted that night. We also hold an annual Community United in Recovery event where we have detoxes and rehabs come into one building to show this community that there is help out there.
That's fantastic. Now, Lisa, one of the Hope Dealer Project's goals is to help family members regain strength as they experience the challenges of heroin addiction. What services does the nonprofit provide to help loved ones and addicts in West Virginia?
We provide an 800 number that comes directly to the Hope Dealer Project, where we can either help new mothers that are just finding out that their children are an addict, and give them a helping hand and a listening ear. And we help place people in detox and rehab.
Tina, what's the one thing you want everyone to know about opioid addiction? And ladies, how can others help?
Okay, well, the one thing is just remember they may be an addict, but they're still somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's mom, somebody's dad. They're human. They have a disease. And we need to help them. We need to step up, figure out how we can help them. The way others can help us is by donating to us. That helps us be able to pay for fuel so we can take them to detoxes and rehab. It helps us buy plane tickets. It helps us buy clothing and things they need to start their recovery. We love donations. We're a nonprofit. So anything that can be done to help us there would be good.
Well, ladies, keep fighting the good fight, and thank you so much for being with us today.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great what they're doing. I grew up in West Virginia, and I got to tell you, so many stories with personal connections of people I know or family members that have dealt with this kind of thing. So it's great that they're doing work there on the ground to kind of help correct that huge epidemic problem. Guys, we're going to read some more tweets to you from. We've been obviously talking about Matt Lauer. People continue to react. Jennifer Bailey saying, "You know what? I would love to see one of these alleged abusers coming forward to admit what they've done and expressing sorrow and regret before being called out for facing consequences," and saying, "I'm truly sorry, Matt Lauer," as referenced there. And that would be an interesting thing to see. Very unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Yeah.
A preemptive apology.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
We've got some more tweets here.
Yes, from Sharon Bettis. And she says, courting someone does not include sending them a sexual toy. The beginning of a relationship does not include dropping your pants around your ankles to show them your penis in an office setting. Invading someone's personal space is not getting to know someone. It's just vulgar.
We have talked about this somewhere on The Office that, you know, they're like, what's the line and
Listen,
work, whatever. But like,
Jeremy, you and I have both been married for a while, but when I was back out there in the game, that was not considered okay. And I don't think things have changed.
It isn't. It is not. It's not okay. Some of these things are so outrageous that it's hard to even read them. Let's see. Busy Bee. Fired by NBC. I've been watching Matt Lauer for the last 20 years. When I first heard of this, I was angry and upset, but I realized that my feelings for he and the show were making me biased. I pray that they have and will examine and explore every possibility of these indictments. It's hard to face the reality of this when it's someone that you admire.
It's true. It's true. And Matt Lauer has been in our homes every morning for 20-something years. So it's really hard to think of Matt Lauer being involved in this, but sadly he is. At Suzanne Semeloff had this to say. It makes you wonder who is next. Women need to stand up and know they are worthy of respect. We all need to approach our careers from a position of power.
By the way,
That's a very good point.
It is. She taps into something there that's a base level thing. Respect, right? Respect in the workplace and out of the workplace, but it's, you know, a lot of these things are happening at work and in professional environments. Respect in the workplace would eliminate most of this.
Aretha Franklin said it best. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
She knew.
Thank you.
She knew.
She knew.
Oh, man. All right. Coming up tomorrow, guys, singer-songwriter Andy Grammer revealing the inspiration behind the title of his new album, The Good Parts, which drops tomorrow. Plus, Grammy Award-winning artist Ashanti, who will be releasing her 6th studio album next year, opens up about her love life. Guys, thank you for the comments. Thank you for all that you've played in to the conversation with us about serious things and about the fun celebrity things. We cover it all here at People.
Cover everything.
My goodness.
And we'll leave you with one last thing from Leslie Odom Jr.
Hi, I'm Leslie Odom Jr., and this is One Last Thing. The last song stuck in my head is embarrassingly this song from Sesame Street.
Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play today.
Because I was on the Sesame Street float for a Thanksgiving Day parade, and I watched a lot of Sesame Street. Okay, my last date night, Nicolette and I went to see Lady Bird like 2 nights ago, and we really enjoyed it. The last TV show I watched was She's Gotta Have It. And it's awesome. My man Anthony Ramos is on there. My man Oak had a really great part on there, and Spike's a dear friend, so that's it. Netflix.